I don't usually like to do multiple videos on the same day that I do my overarching review for Gran Turismo 7's new updates, but those of you who already saw this news know there was no way I wasn't going to talk about this today. It's possibly the biggest piece of gaming news I might ever talk about on the channel, certainly the biggest I can think of that I've ever spoken about, and it's one which I never realistically thought would happen. Forza's coming to the PlayStation, and unlike doubtless the thousands of vaporware and fake and April Fool's videos, some of which I've even gotten into in the past, to do this kind of thing, this is actually real. It comes from Turn 10 themselves. I'll link to the article down below, and apparently in spring of 2025, Horizon 5 is coming to the PS5. It's a whole bunch of 5s, and I couldn't be happier. Horizon 5 is probably in my, well, top 5 favourite Forza games, and although it had its own issues, particularly at launch, over time it's gotten bigger and bigger. It was already a massive game to begin with in terms of just the map and the cars, but it's gotten so much larger. It's like a 900 vehicle game, and I know that for many of you you're like, Forza, I'm not into it. It's this game, it's that game. Preconceived notions. I personally hate how clan-based human thinking often is, like, oh, I'm an Evo guy, I'm a WRX guy. How about enjoying both? There's an idea. Well now, as I've said before, if Forza ever seriously came to the PlayStation, I'd probably never buy an Xbox again, because the PlayStation is a way more reliable console. I've gotten through so many Xbox 360s, it's utterly insane. Even recently, still, for making members videos, I had another one break. Now this is amazing news. It is interesting timing, because Horizon 5 is actually winding down to the next game, or focusing on, developing their newer stuff, which sounds like a bad thing, but I actually think that's fantastic news for one particular reason. And they have specifically talked about this kind of thing in the article, of having all of those expansions and all of those DLCs, yes, some of which are paid, and I will be curious to see how they do that in terms of like VIP editions. Like for me, for example, when I downloaded Horizon 5, I always go for the VIP, because then you don't even have to download the packs. You don't save that much money, but you just automatically download all the new stuff without even thinking about it. And here's the crazy thing, it costs about the same as a Gran Turismo VIP edition, and that's just for free updates, whereas with this one, it gets you all the paid DLC, so it's kind of a ridiculous comparison when you think of what you're getting for the money. I am so looking forward to seeing the people be won over to the idea of actually liking more than one thing. For some of you, I've seen you make that change over the years that I've been championing both of these series on the channel, enjoying both of them. Even now, still in the members section, we talk about Forza 1 and Horizon 1 and all of these old school games, as well as the Gran Turismo 2s and 4s and all these kind of retro games that many of us grew up with and still love. And although my absolute dream would be if, PlayStation Plus or something added all of the old catalogue of Forza games, albeit without the multiplayer in the earlier stuff, I don't think that will happen, but that would be incredible. At that point, I would never touch an Xbox again. And this is crazy big news for them, because Forza is going to be happy about this, because of course they've already had the game out for years at this point, and yet they're now going to have a huge influx in sales again on a game. It's a very smart move, and moving forward we'll have to see what else this means, so good for them. I have no issue at all with them making way more money out of this. That's a fantastic idea, but also for Polyphony, this is going to be interesting to see if it has any effect on them. They've never even had to think about Forza before, not just because of, brand loyalty, but it's not even on the same console, so who really cares what Forza's doing? Now though, well, in very real terms, this will have a difference, not only to how many people buy a Gran Turismo game, because that will probably stay fairly consistent, I would imagine either way, fans are fans, but to the amount of people still playing Gran Turismo. That is going to take a hit, I can tell you that for a fact, because if you've got Gran Turismo 7, which has been out for a couple of years and is delivering updates like the one we've just had, which has some good stuff, but many people are at the very least underwhelmed by, versus now a brand new kid on the block, not only a new game, but for the first time ever on the console and on the PlayStation period, this titan of racing games with 900 cars and a free-roaming map. Well, yeah, Polyphony should be worried, because this, if it's not a call to step up your game, then nothing is. We already know, incidentally, thanks to some recent music talk, that Polyphony is developing the next Gran Turismo game. We don't know if it's a GT8, but they are at least getting stuff like the music down for that, so that's a little extra nugget of news in this video. And to be honest, even if Polyphony makes no change, if it has no effect on Gran Turismo, I don't even care, because I'm going to have so much more to do. And that should tell you something as well. I've already completed most that there is to do, if not everything for the most part, in Horizon 5, and I've got most of the vehicles to the point where the game doesn't even load properly because I've got so many cars and it really weighs down the Xbox, and I'm happy to do it all again. That should tell you everything you need to know about how much more fun you can have if you've never played this before. I cannot wait for those of you who have been holding out or just never had the opportunity to play it, or maybe if you're a younger player, couldn't afford or weren't allowed to have two consoles, whatever the case may be. Like me, when I came up, I couldn't afford to have them both when I was a kid, and now seeing that next generation, current generation, even people, older, enjoying something new, maybe for the first time, maybe even through this channel and others like it, that's awesome. Definitely stick around for more news. You know I'm going to be covering that news, and yeah, I'll be producing Forza Horizon 5 content as well as GT7 on the same console, which is bonkers. Check out the Gran Turismo 1.55 review. This definitely overshadows that now, but hey, there's still some good nuggets in there, and I'll see you next time with more. But for now, thanks for watching.